And, it seems to me the petwo iwa or petwo ira are protecting something sacred, right? Which to me feels like they're protecting the Rada iwa. But I can't prove that, right? Because to me, mauve could represent that based on what we read, of them being more cool, benevolent. What did it say? Like love, peace, tranquility. Well, romance is love. It says serenity, tranquility. I don't know if it said that word, but harmonious feelings, right? So maybe that column represents that. And it did say they're invoked at different parts of the ceremony. So that kind of makes sense. Maybe they keep it separate, but they're part of the same ceremony. I haven't read that yet. We have to study it. I don't know, but maybe it's that they're in the middle of a ceremony, and right now it's the petwo or petwo spirits that are active, right? But according to what we've learned, you don't blend the two. So that's interesting, because I was actually going to put a purple fire on see how being educated. I'm very thankful that I looked that up, because I was going to put the purple fire on the orange fire to say that, well, let's balance this with the Rada energy, right? So to speak, the Rada Iwa energy. But mentally, I could understand doing that. But since they keep them separate, like that wouldn't be appropriate, right? Because they don't blend the two. They do the one and then the next, or something like this. So yeah, it must mean that they already did the Rada one, or they're going to. But so far as a tarot card reading and being prepared about the energy, if you're facing the moment that it's the petwo Iwa's moment to, be a part of to be, if it's their moment to shine in the ceremony, or they're doing what they do, then, you'd have to be aware of how to deal with that kind of energy in your life as a tarot reading, right? So, yeah. I just think keeping all of that in mind could help mentally, or spiritually, or whatever. Mind, body, spirit. Yeah, mind, body, spirit. Handle the energies best, right? So it's kind of like almost saying, let the energy do what it wants to do, right? But spiritually, what? Be who you are, that's complementary to that in the right way. So if you seem to be more of a petwo iwa person, right? Because we have characteristics too that represent these sort of things. It makes sense. Then you might have to be very careful of your actions, right? So there's not clashings. So yeah, I can see we're embodying that. But then what else would be saying though is, if you have more Rada Iwa qualities of yourself, you might want to keep it to yourself, right? Because to keep them separate. Interesting, right? A cool way to think about it. So let's just have fun with this. See it how you'd like to. But let's read a little more about the color mauve and wrap it up. It says, color family, purple with pink and gray undertones. Position on the color wheel between violet and pink. Comes from the French word for mallow flower, malva. Emotional associations, romance, nostalgia, sentimentality, serenity, refinement. It says historical significance. William Perkins' accidental discovery of the first mass-produced mauve dye in 1856 revolutionized the fashion industry and led to the mauve decade of the 1890s. The dye, initially called Tyrian purple, was a breakthrough because it was the first synthetic color that didn't fade easily. The accessibility of mauve dye democratized color, making it available to various classes, unlike the previous association of purple with royalty and wealth. So it says the hex code, RGB and CMYK. It It's got 12% cyan, 31% magenta, 0 yellow, and 0 black. Okay. It's in design, and this is the last part. Mauve is a versatile color that can be used in various design contexts. It pairs well with other purples, yellows, and lime green. It can create a modern yet nostalgic feel, making it suitable for both contemporary and vintage-inspired designs. In interior design, mauve can be used to create a calming and elegant atmosphere. But, you know, that's what somebody said about it, which I should look that back up, because, you know, I was drawing upon what they had said. I'm not sure I would have picked out saying the color mauve myself, but it was Masa. Here we go. Oh, that's not the same one. Oh, here it is. It's La Flambeau, not Le. It says, two Massa, someone wrote this. Two Massa are in the temple. They carry the sacred fire of the petwo spirits. The fire is high, but doesn't burn them or anything around them. It says duality, twins. The Massa are turning away from each other, but their actions mimic each other. Separate but in sync, mirror images. The fires seem to lean into each other. Synthesis. The background of the card is mauve, feminine, receptive energies. Temple as womb. The background of the card is mauve, feminine, receptive energies. So that's the part I was trying to get at. The background of the card is mauve, feminine, receptive energies, and they wrote temple as womb. So that's interesting, and that's really what I wanted to reread. The Massas are the carriers of life-giving water, grace, and power. They can't use the power, they can only give it away, and they rule, which is why they rule transport and connection. So it shows another picture of it. So yeah, it seems kind of like a gateway, right? Like they're standing in front of a gateway that represents the divine feminine, and they're tending to the vessels of the petwo iwa fires. Okay, so that was it for now. I hope you found this helpful with what's going on in your life, and if not, then we got to learn some things about voodoo. And thank you. Bye.